These two reds differ by one single value. Your eye can't tell them apart, my eye can't tell them apart, and neither can a calibrated monitor. But Anycubic Slicer claims that one of them needs 99 cubic millimeters of material for a color change and the other one 223 cubic millimeters, which is more than double. If that sounds like complete nonsense to you, you are thinking the same thing I was. And it was this nonsense that took me first into the source code, then into the installer package, and finally to the question of whether the published source code is even the one running on my computer. Above all, it finally explained why my Anycubic Kobra X kept ruining my prints. The printer that led me to this problem was sent to me for review by the alza.cz online store, for which I thank them very much, but don't expect a review in this video. So here is how the whole thing started. On a finished multicolor print, I noticed white fleeks in a red area. I tried printing the same model again, but this time through Orca Slicer. The print came out perfectly fine, or at least the part I had enough filament for. Same printer, same filament, same model, and yet a different result every time. So the difference had to be in what each of those two programs handed the printer to print from. Every multicolor printer with a single nozzle has to push the old material out first when it changes color, before the new one can flow. The new one would otherwise mix with the leftovers of the old one still sitting in the nozzle. We can call that pushed out material the purge, and on this printer it is exactly the colorful blob that ends up in your bin after a multicolor print. How much of it there will be is something the slicer works out in advance, and you can look the exact value up in this table. I started comparing the two programs and noticed they differ in exactly one thing: how much material they want to push out when going from white to red. Well, not only from white to red, but red is what I focused on most. So I sat down with the Anycubic Slicer and started feeding it one shade of red after another. I entered 7 shades that differed only in brightness, from an almost black burgundy to a vivid one, and had it work out the purge from white to each of them. I expected a smoothly rising series, because the more vivid the red, the more white you need to push out of the nozzle. Orca and Bamboo Studio both gave me exactly that, rising nicely without a single stumble. Anycubic gave me one as well, except for 2 values that dropped to 99. And those 99 are less than what the same slicer asked for the darkest burgundy in the whole series. So the program was claiming that a vivid red needs less purging than a color that is almost black. That contradicts itself, and you don't need any more measuring to see it. So I wanted to know where exactly it breaks. I took the shades between the last one that calculated correctly and the first one that dropped and went 1 unit at a time. A completely primitive method, but it worked. Shade E70206 gives 223. Shade 080206, one single unit away, gives 99. And between those two colors there is no gradual decline, there is simply a cliff. A drop of 124 cubic millimeters, which is 5 centimeters of filament for every single color change. And that is between 2 reds you can't tell apart. I tried to explain it to myself, and I got it wrong twice. First, I blamed the saturation of the color, but 1 green was enough for the whole theory to fall apart. Then I added blue, looked for the boundary in brightness, and it fell apart exactly the same way. Measuring got me no further, because I knew where it drops, but not why it drops. So I decided to stop asking the program and start asking its source code. That one doesn't lie. AnycubicSlicerNext is built on Orca Slicer, which is built on Bamboo Studio, which is built on Prusa Slicer, which goes all the way back to Slicker. The whole family sits under a license that requires the source code to be published, so anyone can look inside. Which is what I did. But before I could get anywhere near where that numbers come from, something completely different hit me. I searched the repository for the Kobra tree and found it in 36 files. The Kobra S1 I found in 14. The Kobra X, the printer sitting on my desk and the one I need that slicer for, I didn't find once. And in that same repository, the version file says this is Orca Slicer 2.3.1. So the source code you can download is not the source code of the program running on your computer. I did find one thing in it. It's a formula that takes two colors and works out how much material to purge. It isn't anything Anycubic wrote themselves though, because you will find the very same calculation in Orca and in Bamboo Studio. So I rewrote it into a script and ran it on the 23 colors I had tried in the slicer. The gray dashed line is what the formula says, and the dots are what the slicer actually showed me. For 16 colors, the dots sit on that line so precisely you can't barely tell them apart. And then there are 7 dots lying far below it, for pure breadth by as much as 140 cubic millimeters. For us that means the healthy majority of those numbers really does come out of the calculation, while the broken ones come from somewhere else. Somewhere I hadn't looked yet, namely inside the install program itself. So let's take a look inside the install package. There is a folder in it called, quite simply, Flush. 2 text files sit inside it. One for the Kobra 4 and one for the Kobra X. The one for the Kobra X has 10 color groups and a list of pairs with purge volumes. When I put my own measurements next to it, everything was clear. The program compares your color with the 61 shades that are in that file. If one of them is close enough, it throws the calculation away and simply copies the value from that list. If not, it calculates. One of my reds is close enough to one of those shades, so it gets a copied 99. The other one isn't, so it gets a calculated 223. That list has 90 slots and 75 of them are multiplied of 50. The number 100 alone shows up 37 times. Measurements don't usually come out that round. Orca has 95 pairs in its file and their values go up in steps of 30. So 26, 56, 86, 116 and so on. That looks exactly like someone printing a sample, taking a look at it, adding a bit and trying again until the transition is clear. On top of that, plenty of pairs aren't in there at all and are left to the formula. Orca measured those numbers. Anycubic rounded them. By then I had an explanation, but I still had no proof. So it occurred to me that if the value is copied out of that file, it should be possible to rewrite it. I opened the file in a plain text editor and changed the value on the line for white to red to 666. A number that cannot come out of any calculation on its own. I launched the slicer, set white and red and let the table recalculate. 666. That is where all guessing ends. That number isn't calculated. That number is simply read out of a text file. It isn't completely untouched though, because the file says around 100 in plenty of places and the slicer shows 99 for them. Why that happens, I would only find out from the source code that isn't published. And while we are on the subject of problems, I noticed one more, a far more serious one. A lot of people don't subscribe to this channel. If you don't either, put that right and hit subscribe. Once I knew where the cause was, I tried one more thing. I simply deleted both files in the flash directory. The program then has nowhere to look and works everything out with the formula. If you don't want to delete anything, you can just rename them because the program won't see them either. Pure red jumped to 239, exactly what the formula gives. The jump between two neighboring shades was gone and red has been red ever since. I know I didn't fix it, I only worked around it. But it confirmed one thing. The fault isn't in the printer, the fault is in one damned text file. Now to an objection I would have written in the comments myself. That list is made specifically for the Kobra X, whereas the formula applies to every printer the same way. So those 99 could well be an honestly measured value for this particular printer, while 239 could be nothing more than a rough estimate from a general formula. Which of those two numbers to trust? I'm afraid I can't tell you. That would take far more printing than I managed. But which one is right isn't really the point for me. Anycubic prepared values for only 61 shades and left everything else to a general formula that each printer merely scales down with its own multiplier. Between what gets copied and what gets calculated, there is no smooth transition at all. So two colors you can't tell apart each get their number from a different place. And that is exactly why my Kobra X kept ruining my prints. Now back to what I found on GitHub, or rather, what I didn't find there. The file with that list, the one this whole video rests on, isn't there either. All you have to do is open About window in the slicer. It says the program is licensed under the GNU Affero General Public License version 3. That license can be summed up quite simply. You can take someone else's program, rebuild it, and even make money on it. But you have to release its source code along with it, and that code stays just as open. It isn't a request from authors. It's the condition under which you may use that code at all. I didn't want to draw any legal conclusions because I'm not a lawyer, but as a user, I can ask for the source code of my version. So I wrote to Anycubic and asked them for the sources that actually match the version I have installed. The reply came straight away and it was clear. The source code of the latest version apparently isn't open source at the moment, so they can't provide it. So I wrote back that the program itself says it is under AGPL. The next day, I got a link to their GitHub and a note to download it there, which is exactly the repository where the Kobra X doesn't appear in a single file. I replied that what's in there is AnycubicSlicer 2.3.1 and not my version. And a few hours later, the third answer arrived. That they apologize for the confusion, the code for my version is still being prepared and they want to publish it by the end of this year at the earliest. 3 answers to 1 question in 3 days. What to make out of that? I will leave it to you. It started with 2 shades of red you can't tell apart. And it ended at a single text file that decides how much material ends up in your bin. I don't think the values in that list are a mistake in themselves. They probably have a reason I don't know about. But I know you can't rely on them when it comes to colors. For myself, I solved it by deleting both files. Please don't take that as a how-to. You shouldn't be poking around in someone else's program like that, and I definitely don't recommend it. It's simply what I did to get some peace from those numbers. I hope Anycubic takes a look at it, because the printer really isn't to blame. How the Kobra X prints and what it hides in its print head, you will find out in a separate video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.